Hello, hello. Motor Week, huh? I wonder wie alt er is. I wonder wie alt er is. Wow, for Motor Week. Deze is er. Hm. Hm. Kijk on the difference. Weet je hoe dat is? Sorry, you can't hear anything? Let's see, give me a minute. 1 second. Should work. Here we go. Sorry about that.
Top-notch professionals behind the scenes.
Oh,
We've
it's
never
good.
had a big Hollywood budget or a cast of hundreds, but that never slowed us down.
Thank you, by the way, van mag...
Hey, Greg.
What's up, JD?
Dave, Kyle.
Hey, John.
Boy, looks like you guys are hard at work cranking out another road test. I sure hope the weather doesn't turn on you.
Honestly, even if it does, we'll still be out here.
I don't think our fans have any idea the enormous amount of effort that goes into producing one of these.
Well, why don't we just show them?
Thank you. Sorry about that. Sounds like it's was a headache.
Just about every Motor Week episode starts and ends with a road test. Each one a 5 to 6 minute culmination of 2 weeks worth of driving, shooting, writing, and editing. And it all starts with a simple walk around. Here, our road test writer Brian takes meticulous notes about every feature and option on the car to reference later when he writes the script. From there, it's time to roll tape. Digitally, that is, since we stopped using analog media around season 30. First up, interiors. For these, we use Maryland Public Television's state-of-the-art production studio. Well, the wall of the studio anyway. In the morning, it provides plenty of shade for nice, even lighting. Car tech has exploded in recent years. And with so many new features to cover, interiors easily takes us the longest to shoot. Sometimes we'll be out here 3, maybe 4 hours to get all the shots we need. For performance cars like this 911 GTS, we'll sometimes add a road course component to our test. Less than 2 hours from our Maryland studios, making the drive to Summit Point Motorsports Park in West
De road, weißt du, interessant, de Maryland zit tussen de roadse wie Innsdo en Upstate.
Virginia is a 3-for-1 deal. We get on-road driving impressions, track impressions, and exterior shots all in one day. Like we always say, the cars are the stars, but it never hurts to have a picturesque background. And with that in mind, we try to pick a setting
Hello,
that
Max.
suits each car.
Would you mind get out of the way?
Oh, sorry. The first rule of television is you can never have too much footage. While that may or may not be technically true, the point is it's better to have too much footage than too little. That means we get every angle of every car. And word to the wise, shoot the exteriors before the hot laps. Rubber and road tar do not clean off easy. Safety is always first, especially at the racetrack. And with 2, sometimes 3 cars out on the track at one time, it takes coordination. So we stay in contact with our videographers using radios and drivers with these flags. All right, track is going hot. As we speed around the track, we formulate impressions for our writers to use in the scripts. But the beauty of being a TV show is we get to use visuals to convey some things that just can't be put into words. That's where GoPros come in. Images from these cameras attached to the cars and even our helmets can provide as much insight as our words. Of course, it wouldn't be a Motor Week road test without a trip to the drag strip for some instrumented testing. We bring just about
1 second. Hier. Give me a second.
every vehicle we test out here to Mason-Dixon Dragway, but regardless of what it is, our day always starts the same.
Sorry about that. Motor Week. Ich will ein Video, ich habe gewollt kicken. This one? Helemaal bedoel de alte kaart, but laat maar zien hoor. Laat maar even. I think it's exactly welke video ik wil kijken. And this one.
Motor Week is made
Motor
possible
Week.
by Auto Value and Bumper to Bumper. and TireRack.com.
This Achieva coupe definitely doesn't qualify as your father's Oldsmobile. That's because it's one of the sportiest and least conservative vehicles that the Olds division has released in recent years. And with this newfound youth in their line, the engineers at Oldsmobile are getting even more adventurous. They wanted to see just how far they could push the Achieva's street performance envelope. The result is called the SCX. Turning a basic compact car into a pseudo-hot rod is hardly a new idea in the American auto industry. But with rumors swirling about Oldsmobile's future, a successful performance car could be a real boost. The SCX is actually the Achieva Sport Coupe equipped with a W41 performance option package. But Olds gave the SCX full lower body cladding with a silver accent stripe to make sure it stood out from the crowd. A deep front bumper with an aggressive chin spoiler adds to the performance image, as does a prominent rear deck spoiler. And these attractive 14-inch aluminum wheels wearing the rear deck spoiler.
Hoe zit deze deck spoiler, by the way? Kan je kunt grappen? Not sure.
And these attractive 14-inch aluminum wheels wearing V-rated 60 series tires.
Magic.
Powering the front-drive SCX is a more potent version of Oldsmobile's flexible 2.3-liter quad-4 engine. With 4 valves per cylinder and dual overhead camshafts, this high-output motor delivers 185 horsepower and 160 pound-feet of torque.
Not bad. 185 horsepower for us. Deze car is welke year it is? 1993. Not bad.
A 5-speed manual with a typical GM long-throw shifter is the only transmission available. Producing good bottom-end torque, it propelled the 2,700-pound coupe from 0 to 60 in 7.8 seconds, a half-second quicker than the standard Achieva SC. The quarter mile ended in 16 seconds at 90 miles per hour, but power is strongest between 3,300 and the 7,000 RPM red line. We expected reasonably impressive power from the SCX, but were pleasantly surprised by just how well it handled. A tuned suspension, wider rear axle, and a pair of rear stabilizer bars gave the SCX remarkably little understeer and very smooth transitions during our handling test. And our drivers rated it superior in high-speed maneuvers to other GM N cars like the Buick Skylark GS and Pontiac Grand Am GT. Like most small GM cars, the Achieva SCX comes standard with 4-wheel anti-lock brakes. They stopped it in an average distance of 115 feet. Quite good. There was slight fade due to new brake pads, but stability was above average and pedal pulse minimal. Out on the open road, the SCX felt even more the pseudo-hot rod with a firm ride and slightly high 70 decibel interior noise level.
70 decibels.
Interior layout, however, is very effective, with a driver-oriented dash placing everything within easy reach, while large, comprehensive analog gauges provide plenty of important information. The cloth covering on these standard buckets is a bit more utilitarian than we're used to from Olds. Support and comfort, however, are up to par, as is the design of the efficient ventilation and radio controls. The rear seat room is what one expects in a small 2-door, fine for around town, but skipped the cross-country trips.
Dus maybe sway the seats, nine? Of zoals de camera?
In a small 2-door, fine for around town, but skipped the cross-country trips, even though there's certainly enough cargo space for serious traveling. But when Olds told us the price, we wondered if they were serious.
Oh, laat maar zijn we gepraat, hebben ze gezocht.
W41 package adds $2,475 to the standard SC model's $13,049 price. That adds up to a lot of performance for only $15,000.
The way the tunnel is probably that in Spring Valley, that by the marketplace.
$1,524. The Achieva SCX is definitely not your father's Oldsmobile, but it is the most potent compact coupe to wear the Oldsmobile badge in a long, long time.
Motorweek. So, I got a video. I'm not sure. Bijna veel specific appers. 1998 Subaru. Das ist schon ganz gut. 1990s Land Rovers UK Training Center. Let's see this one. Yeah.
Motor Week is made possible by Auto Value and Bumper to Bumper. And TireRack.com.
If you've been faithful for the past 2 weeks, you know it's time for part 3 of Motor Week's annual Detroit Big 3 preview. We've already covered Ford and Chrysler, and now it's time for America's biggest domestic automaker and the biggest car company in the world, General Motors. And for GM in 97, last is certainly not least.
So, 1 second. This is the 97. 97, the ganze Motor Week is schon gewesen mehr advanced. Weiß nicht, welche Series am gehalten, du. But it's definitely gewesen mehr advanced. So, die things they taxi cars, they're luminous.
For 1997, General Motors is almost an auto in.
Dan moest Lazar-kaarts kamers gemacht in de market, geherik. I don't think so.
Industry unto itself, with 14 new models being introduced over the next 9 months. That includes a trio of fresh front-wheel drive minivans, the Chevrolet Venture, Pontiac Transport, and Oldsmobile Silhouette.
So geen takke 2. De Pontiac is geween, nog geween de Ventures. Het was geen dezelfde car.
Available in regular and extended length, these steel-bodied vans boast conservative styling, European feel handling, and features that their competitors can't match. Airbag.
Wow, the interior. Things they seats. As you were living.
And anti-lock brakes are standard. And yes, there is an available left side sliding door, but the
Was because nicht alle cars haben a left side sliding door, right?
right slider retains GM's exclusive power assist.
Power assist.
Engine power is from a 3.4-liter 190 horsepower V6, the most standard power among small vans. As you might expect, Chevrolet will gain GM's most affordable new family sedan. The legendary Malibu nameplate has been reactivated for this Corsica replacement that is styled much like popular imports. The same goes for the comfortable, no-nonsense mid-size interior that includes a split folding rear seat. The front drive chassis uses 2 engines, a 150 horsepower 16-valve inline-4 and a 3.1-liter pushrod V6 rated at 155 horses. The suspension is up to date, all independent with struts at each corner, and anti-lock brakes are a low-cost option. While the 97 Oldsmobile Cutlass shares its body structure and engines with the Malibu, its styling is different enough not to be easily confused. You won't confuse this car with the Sierra it replaces either. The interior is clean and modern. The very stiff body gives Cutlass an expensive feel and a much improved ride and handling quotient. By the way, the current Cutlass Supreme will be superseded by an all-new Olds Intrigue next spring. It doesn't just look like a smaller Aurora, it drives like one too. Saturn is doing to its coupe what it did to the sedan and wagon last year. That means new steel and plastic panels, a quieter engine, and a roomier interior. Delivering more practical driving excitement for the money than competitors should make Saturn coupes even more popular. Meanwhile, the excitement folks at Pontiac have already rolled out their new midsize Grand Prix sedan and coupe, and they certainly look the part. No other GM cars come close to their extremely aggressive show car styling inside and out. The W-body chassis has been completely updated with stiffer construction, more wheelbase, a genuine wide track, and a new strut-independent rear suspension. Top engine choice is GM supercharged 3.8-liter V6 rated at 240 horsepower. Under the hood of a GTP coupe, it delivers a 0-60 sprint of under 7 seconds. Now, you may not believe it, but this ultra-conservative Buick Century shares many of its major mechanical bits with the Grand Prix, including a 3.1-liter V6. However, it has been handsomely tailored for Century's much older buyers. That includes a split bench front seat with stretch-out legroom, but an equally spacious rear seat with available
Bequeme sitzen. Hast du reingesetzt, das gehört dann Sitz. fein sitzen.
Graded child seat may also attract more younger families too.
Oh, wow, du sagst, der Kapton. Ich meine, Sarzachkart haben nicht die, weiß die Leather, whatever, was die Kapstone, so gut zu halten. Mein Car hat das nicht, weiß ich, hat mit Tesla, das Cars haben es nicht.
The Buick Regal gets a bit sportier and more luxurious renovation next spring. But it's the all-new Park Avenue and Park Avenue Ultra that really say Buick luxury. Looking very much like America's answer to an Autobahn cruiser, Buick's new flagship shares its basic tight structure with Riviera. Seatbelts are integrated.
Deze is schon de seat als je kent trekken met de buttons. Down and forward, backward.
For better
In a lumbar support.
comfort, and the expansive dash should make orphaned Roadmaster owners feel right at home. But they'll also find impressive road holding along with the Boulevard ride. Both normally aspirated and supercharged 3.8-liter V6 engines remain the ample source of power. GM's other premium division, Cadillac, will be introducing their first V6-powered sedan in almost a decade, the German-made Catera. This rear-drive executive sedan is aimed at the younger buyer who otherwise would be visiting an Audi, BMW, or Mercedes franchise. While it began life as Opel's flagship Omega MV6, it's been successfully massaged for American taste without losing any of its Teutonic abilities. That includes power, a 3-liter, 200-horsepower, 24-valve.
So basically the same car. Dit is GM Rose Gamasach car. This is 1997. Let's see.
V6, also found in the
Kijk on this. Kijk on this. Dus ik weet de Ford. Here we go.
Hello and welcome again to Motor Week
She's
and to our
clueless,
latest
isn't it?
Compare a Car road test. And what gets the going over this time? It's a new group of vehicles that may someday make the
85.
family station wagon obsolete. Minivans. You know, those now familiar people haulers that are revolutionizing the way families, little league teams, and van poolers are getting from here to there. We have 4 contestants at the starting line. From the Chrysler Corporation, the Plymouth Voyager. From our #1 importer, the Toyota van. From General Motors, the Chevrolet Astro. And a just-introduced Ford entry, the Aerostar. Base prices for our group range from a low of around $8,500 for the Astro to just under $10,000
Hello.
for the Toyota van.
Good
I
day,
should
y'all.
add,
Hello.
though, that when typically outfitted, minivans come in with moderately high retail stickers of between $14,000 and $15,000. The Motor Week staff has given each of these vehicles a good
They blue got me the painters. En they roite got the family car. En they car in the mid. Aber ich sehe schon pool, but I don't know, kannst du schon gepickt?
going over, and we'll be ranking our choices in each of 4 categories. The overall winner will be decided by how well each
Winner.
van stacks up in those individual categories. First category is for overall design. How attractive is each vehicle's shape given its utilitarian purpose? After all, styling is still a big factor in any family's buying decision. We'll look at each van's special features, see how each one is engineered, and find out what makes them all unique. We'll also check under the hoods and engine covers to see how the shade tree mechanics will do with routine maintenance. Our second category, vanability. How easy is it to get in and out of them? How versatile are they at seating arrangements, cargo
En ik ga deze zijn comparen zu der handige cars. Lass mal sehen, wie sie gerne comparen, wie sie mir kennen comparen zu der handige cars.
hauling abilities, and are they easy to load?
Lass mal
We'll also
sehen,
include
easy to load.
capacities and trailer towing limitations. Next, we'll cover
So, 1 second. Limit, wie viel kann man Hand schleppen? Hand kann man schleppen mit 3,500, 5,000, ein bisschen mehr, das ist schon 7,000 pounds. So, let's see.
normal passenger vehicle performance, acceleration, braking, and emergency handling. Now, we don't expect these vans to be closet sports cars, but they shouldn't be a disgrace to the four-wheel drive race either. The final category is routine everyday driving. When all is said and done, are these vans really as comfortable to drive as the cars they're replacing? Are they noisy? Are they fuel efficient? And
Noisy. We redden van, hoeveel te vliegen zo? Hoeveel decibels? 70 decibels?
Can they get into your garage easily and around tight parking lots?
Okay.
So it's time now to see what each of these suburban mass transit models has to offer.
In design and execution, our 4 minivans have little in common, except they're all small and shaped more aerodynamically than their full-size cousins. The first minivan unleashed on the U.S. market was the legend in its own time Chrysler T-Van, the Dodge Caravan, and our Plymouth Voyager. It's the only front-drive model in our test. There are 2 available 4-cylinders, Chrysler's carbureted 101-horse 2.2-liter and Mitsubishi's carbureted 104-horsepower 2.6-liter. Engine maintenance access is the best of the bunch. Routine service is a snap, except for changing fan belts. The Toyota van was the first real competition for the Voyager.
These are just, I don't know. This gibt nicht. Toyota, perfect. So hat nicht kein Gein. Du weißt, alle andere cars haben Gein. This hat nicht kein Gein. I don't know. It pullt mich nicht.
With its sharply raked front end, the driver and front passenger sit over the front wheels. While great for visibility, consumers might wonder how vulnerable they might be in an accident. But Toyota's unique frame system transfers crash energy towards the rear, away from the passengers, and the van did well in government-sponsored crash testing. Engine access is from under the driver's seat, and even simple adjustments are fairly difficult, but recommended service for the Toyota van is minimal. The overhead cam 90 horsepower 2-liter unit in this 85 van will be bored out to 2.2 liters and 105 horsepower for 86 models. General Motors test candidate, the Chevrolet Astro, and the identical GMC Safari is more like a traditional van. It's blunt and upright, looks very suitable for heavy cargo use. Its rear drive power comes from either a 92-horse 2.5-liter 4-cylinder or Chevy's newest 4.3-liter V6. We chose that 145-horse carbureted model for our test. It's the most powerful engine in any small van. It'll get a 5% power improvement in 1986 when throttle body injection is added. Serviceability is van-like, tight, though you can easily get to belts and dipsticks. Some service requires removal of the bulkhead panel below the dash. Our last contestant, Ford's Aerostar, is van-like too, though it has a super slick...
Maar die kent even aan de window van de back, dan moet je denken, kan maar zo even over, zo is het, kan maar zo even, kan maar zo open. But this is gewoon, I don't know. Ja, ich such's mir. Die Karte man hatte gehabt in a Brona. Het heeft gehabt pain by the light, gedenk ich, weil etwas, ich weiß nicht, was gewesen, the color.
Design and 0.37 drag coefficient, lowest of the lot. That progressive profile hides a rather conventional rear-wheel drive layout. An 88-horse 2.3-liter overhead cam 4 is standard, and a 115-horse 2.8-liter carbureted V6 is optional. All normal fluid, belt, and hose checks are a snap, but other service looks time-consuming. The inside service panel was easier to remove than the Astros.
Really?
So the last-to-the-trough Aerostar has a good overall design for the minivan calling. It seems a bit better than either the Astro or Toyota, but it may not be the best when you consider the progressive front-wheel drive engineering of the Voyager. When it comes to vanability, all 4 are very versatile. The Plymouth Voyager seats up to 8 passengers, and there's plenty of head and leg room, even in the rear. Bucket seats are standard in the front cabin. Plenty of head and leg room, even in the rear. Bucket seats are...
Wieso riecht sie das Seat? Ah, hast du schon rauf? Kannst du nur richten, das Seat, back and forth.
Standard in the front cabin, but this 3-person split bench is an option. Besides storage nooks, there's a lockable underseat drawer, and you can also get this nifty front console with cup holder. Being front drive, the Voyager has the lowest floor, and in general, we found the Voyager the easiest to move in, out, and around in.
Jedes move, wenn der Driver darf gehen forward and backwards for the seat. Sinds je gewend kan, wenn memory seats rauskommen, ich krieg mal dat de 2000 gewend memory seats, instead of going backwards, forwards, the ganze Zeit.
Seat removal is a heavy job for 2 people. With one option, this fold-down bed. At the rear, there's a lightweight single-section hatch.
Too bad a liftover lip prevents simple slide-in loading, and the Voyager's not long enough to take a 4x8 sheet of plywood with the hatch closed. Cargo ratings are a maximum of 1,700 pounds with a trailer towing limit of 2,000 pounds.
Weinig. En ook het 1700 pounds is ook het zeer weinig.
The unusual Toyota van was hit for being tough to get in and out of.
Dit is een zeer anarische design. Maar je ziet een afredel, maar het is ook dat Toyota het is gemaakt special voor de accident so gaan in de bag. Dat ik nog in de car. Ik ga hem de car naar de car.
With a side door that seemed a bit low for its high floor. Stepping up through the front door is also awkward, and clothes can be soiled easily by the front tires. On the other
Ja, het is iets schmutzig geworden. Doe maar ook een badredel, dan is het niet geworden schmutzig.
hand, our 7-passenger Toyota van has great head and legroom in the rear. Its optional twin sunroof package
nice.
makes for an airy drive. There's a dual air
85.
conditioning system too, one front and one rear, and it includes a tiny refrigerator and ice maker.
Imagine 1985, a fridge and an ice maker. Handige cars hebben het niet.
Again, a rear hatch is used, and there's also a lip at the floor. Seats in the Toyota were the easiest to remove, and it's the only one in the group that will hold a sheet of plywood with the hatch closed. It has more interior volume than all but the Chevy Astro. The van has a 1-ton trailer towing capacity and a 1,500-pound cargo capacity.
Beter. 1 ton. Weet je 1 ton is? Kan je slepen airbags.
The lowest of the group. The rear drive Astro has the highest floor of all, but getting in and out at the side is easy.
Deze heb ik lief gehad. They step on, whatever. Get the stikkel.
Thanks to this wide step and very tall
this.
door. Interior seating is for up to 8. That is, if you order both optional 3-passenger rear bench seats. They can be removed. Again, a 2-man job.
Maand dat de roze met deze ziet, we hebben gekleinde kaar peisig. Met alle kinderen hebben geholpen, met de roze met de seat, select de zaad en we gekleinde kaar.
And can be positioned to face each other. The front cabin is nice and wide, but they forgot to design in any footroom. The Astro is the only small van with dual opening rear doors, a big plus for some buyers. It has the simplest loading, but again, plywood won't fit unless the doors are left open, despite a 1,700-pound cargo capacity.
Met lassen het hier af. Dan zeggen we, oder lass es af, oder nicht. Was zeg ik? Oder lass es af, oder nicht.
Trailer towing limit is 5,000 pounds,
Impressive.
good for a small van.
Yeah.
Even though the Ford Aerostar is our newest arrival, we've had experience with a variety of prototype and production units.
En die antenne zie je nog geld bij kaars. Geef me die antenne terug.
The Aerostar has the highest cargo weight limit, 2,000 pounds, but it does decrease as options are added. The Aerostar's trailer towing limit is equal to the Astro's 5,000 pounds.
Nice.
The wide side door and handy step makes for
De step is een gewin een beetje meer schmeler wie de vorige.
equal to the Astro's 5,000 pounds.
Kijk.
The wide side door and handy
wide,
step
but
makes for
it's
easy
small.
entry, though the standard middle captain's
Nice
chairs
seats.
make it hard to get to the rear. There's
Yeah,
optional
at the
bench
back.
seating for up to 7 passengers, and a second optional all-bench layout will fold down into a bed. The Ford looks less like a truck in the front cabin than the Astro, with good footroom, and it's the most luxurious, with this digital gauge package
Oh, de digital.
an option. Ford's rear air conditioning system is similar
Yeah,
to the
it is good,
Toyota's, and there's this trick rear seat radio panel. The Aerostar also
Ja, so de rear seat. So, laat me zeggen, de driver gekend, let's say, op onstellen appes. De back, de kinderen bekend maken stiller. So, de wegen maken stiller in de back. So, ze gaan, de kinderen maken stiller. Dat had ik gemaakt tegen, hadden verkeerd.
has a single hatch, and there's no lip for easy loading, even if a sheet of plywood again doesn't fit completely. The Aerostar's seats aren't hard to take out, but it's not helped by the underseat temporary spare tire location. The other small vans have their spares located outside, under the chassis, and Ford will correct this faux pas during the model year. All our minivans have some compromises in their quest for the ultimate in vanability, but the Voyager and Astro seem to have fewer concessions than the others. You don't want to run any races in a minivan, but acceleration, handling, and braking are still important factors. For one thing, these vehicles are being touted as reasonable alternatives to station wagons. Even with only 4 cylinders, the light Plymouth Voyager turned in the second best 0 to 60 time,
Almost
14.7
15
seconds. The 2.6-liter delivered its 142 pound-feet of torque smartly through the 3-speed automatic transaxle. A welcome 3-liter V6 is still a year away. A special proportioning valve in the brake system also accounted for very stable unloaded stops from 55. With only modest premature lockup at the left rear and little nosedive, stops were straight with little fade. Average distance 110 feet, better than many cars we test. That also goes for handling. There is a lot of front-wheel drive-induced plowing, but the Voyager's soft suspension rolls to its stops without any unusual results. Toyota's 4-cylinder didn't fare as well. Acceleration times from 0 to 60 were the longest, 18.5 seconds, but the 86 model's larger engine will provide a 20% improvement. Besides that, the 5-speed manual on our test rig was very vague and hard to shift smoothly. Better to go with Toyota's excellent 4-speed overdrive automatic. The brakes on this Toyota van performed more to our liking than the ones on a similar vehicle we drove 18 months ago. Hard stops from 55 averaged 131 feet. Not bad. They were straight with only a modest amount of rear lockup and no tail swing. The pedal was very hard though, and there was lots of fade. Our biggest complaint with Toyota van performance has always been with its handling. Its short wheelbase makes it duck into a tight curve faster than the soft suspension can handle, and it lifts a rear wheel on almost every turn in our slalom. But that 88-inch wheelbase and strong third-gear torque gave us slalom times only slightly slower than the Voyager, which had the best times. The larger engine and a new rack and pinion steering unit on 86 Toyota vans may improve things here too. Now to the Chevrolet Astro. It should come as no surprise that a hefty V6 and a 4-speed auto overdrive transmission makes the GM entry tire-chirping fast, the best of the four with a 0 to 60 time of only 11.8 seconds. The Astro has 50% more torque than its only V6 rival, the Aerostar. Brakes on the Astro are at the other end of the scale. They're the group's least impressive. The power disc drum system was very touchy, and the left front wheel had a tendency to lock up prematurely when cold. Stops were straight, but the 140-foot average from 55 was slightly longer than we'd like. On our handling course, the Astro matched the Toyota's time. While there was plenty of pickup-like plow and big van-like roll, the lightly loaded rear end never broke loose, and the Astro inspired the most confidence in our 55-mile-an-hour lane change. The Ford Aerostar was pretty much in the middle of the group in performance. Its V6 acceleration through the very smooth 4-speed overdrive automatic was adequate, if only a touch faster than the Voyager's 4-cylinder, 14.5 seconds from 0 to 60. Brakes were good for a van. The pedal felt great, and the Aerostar's soft suspension did not allow lots of nosedive. Pedal felt great, and the Aerostar's soft suspension did not allow lots of nosedive. There was no tendency to swing and little fade. An average 55-mile-an-hour stopping distance of 131 feet was also quite acceptable for a family vehicle. The Aerostar is a cushy vehicle. Soft springs mean lots of body roll, but its ability to hold the pavement on curves surprised us, although the power steering pump could not keep up with the rapid turns of our slalom. It's important for these minivans to have reassuring performance, especially when you consider their precious family cargo. They all inspire more driver confidence than full-size vans and most larger station wagons, but the Plymouth and Chevy, again, seem to have the easiest time of it. These minivans get their biggest test on everyday missions to home, school, and office. All four vans seem no more affected by side winds or passing semis than normal station wagons. The Voyager's front drive makes it a treat in the snow and nasty weather. Its ride is good and well controlled. Its sound level reading is second best, 67 decibels at 55 miles per hour. The Voyager also turned in the second best economy, 23 miles per gallon on our 100-mile mixed driving loop. With its front drive and long 112-inch wheelbase, the Voyager had the widest turning circle of the lot, 41 feet. While the Toyota generally doesn't do as well as its competitors on the performance track, it shines in everyday driving. It's very comfortable for touring, with a smooth ride over all but the worst bumps. The sound level at 55 is 69 decibels, quiet for a van or car. Mileage placed it first in the group at 24 miles per gallon. Its short wheelbase also allowed it to steal all the honors for turning circle, only 34 feet. On the highways and byways, the true truck colors of the Chevy Astro came through. While the ride is moderately smooth, that cramped front legroom we mentioned made the Astro tiresome. Noise, however, was no problem. Since we rate 68 decibels at 55, it's quiet. Unfortunately, mileage
Max, kannst du mir begeben, ob mir hört man Voice?
was only modest at 21 on our test loop. With rear drive and a 111-inch wheelbase, the Astro's 39-foot turning circle was just acceptable. The late incoming Ford Aerostar did even better on the open road. With the longest wheelbase of the group, 119 inches, it soaked up jolts with ease. The soft suspension translated into a luxury car ride. It also had the best sound level reading, 66 decibels at 55. Mileage equaled the Astro's at 21 miles per. The Aerostar's turning circle was wider than all but the Voyager's at 40 feet. Hill climbing power, important for full load vacations, also was adequate in all vehicles, though the Astro V6 had the definite edge. And our last test? Well, all four of these vans are of the so-called garageable variety. The definition can vary, so we picked an especially small 6-foot-tall by 8-foot-wide garage for this hurdle. The Voyager made it in and out in a breeze. It has the lowest height of the group at 64.2 inches. The Toyota van was next best at 66.3 inches. Things were much tighter with the Astro. Its 71.7-inch height just squeaked through, and being the widest of the lot at 77 inches, it left little side room to spare. The Aerostar is about the same, 71.5 inches high, so it didn't have an easy time either. But it made it with less trauma since it's 8 inches narrower than the Astro. Obviously, height and width can be important if you're switching from a station wagon to a minivan. Indeed, what with the compact size of the Voyager, the excellent highway manners of the Aerostar, and fine economy of the Toyota van, picking a top minivan for everyday use turns out to be a maxi chore.
Eine date Saison kommen da. Umfang hat nicht gearbeitet live, but now everything works. Anyways, interesting to sehen, die alte Sache für Motor Week. So interesting. Für mich ist es interesting. Ik zal de kaars. En hij leeft nog, verstaat? He's still alive. Wow. That's interesting. That's interesting. Anything else? Was einer will reviewen? Kann mich jetzt suchen. Kann reviewen. Gewollt gehen. Review of you. Huh?
Welcome to the This Old House.
Dat zei ik te zeggen. Ik ga liever aan zeggen. Reviewen, juist wel mijn al te zeggen. Clips en KJ. Moet in één video and that's it. Oh, wow, it is updated. Like the Lachasanas. It is updated. Oh, listen, just give me a second. De video dat ik erop geliked. Es gibt ein Video, was ich sehe, bei der Beine kämen gestreffen für 60 Minutes. Was haben sie auch genommen? Ich gedenke die Sachen. Ob eine weiß, können wir this one.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Woo! Love that tune.
State Farm.
Behind all the holiday magic is you.
Oh, Pops, look at you. You are in your happy place, aren't you?
I love towing trailers.
You are trailering something all the time. Every time I see you, you're dragging something behind you.
Trailers are so great. You take everything you want, even if you don't need it, you got it with you.
All right. So I'm not much of a trailer guy. I suspect a lot of people maybe try, don't really know. Walk us through what I need to know to trailer something.
Well, if you're going to trailer something, let's say you're going to rent a trailer and you want to carry some stuff, move some furniture, whatever.
Yeah.
First thing you have to know is what size the trailer is and what its capabilities are. And on the trailer, you'll see one of these, and this is what hooks to the vehicle.
Okay.
All right. So basically, this one here is rated right here. The ball size is 1 7/8, and it has a capacity of 2,000 pounds.
And is that 2,000 pounds the weight of the trailer, or is it the weight of the trailer when you put all your stuff in it?
It's the weight of the trailer
as well.
Everything that you put in it, total.
Okay.
All right.
So when you've got something like this, it says here tongue. Is this called a tongue?
Yeah.
So when you got a tongue, the tongue will tell you, because it's on the trailer,
Yeah.
you know, what do you need? And it's going to tell you this ball size?
It's going to tell you the ball size.
So 1 7/8 right
1
here.
7/8. So now we take this, would be on your truck. You put that down and you lock it in. All right, now the trailer is connected to
like
the
that.
vehicle.
Okay.
All right, so now pull that off.
There, how's
So
that?
I got a little cross section right there. I'll show you what it's like.
Does Richard know you made a cutaway?
Yeah, no. All right, so
Wait, so this
now-
one here says 2 inches.
This is 2 inches. So this is the 1 7/8 ball. So when I put this in there and lock it down,
Oops, hang on. Yeah.
Dit is
all right,
de
it's
richtige
too
size.
floppy. Believe it or
Yeah.
not, you'll hear it and feel it when you're towing the vehicle.
Small ball problem.
Yep, so take it out and put
Yep.
this right size in, lock it in. That's in there good. Right?
Set
It
it.
rotates, turns when you're going to turn the trailer, but it doesn't come out.
Very nice.
So now
Okay.
pick that up, and you obviously
Yes.
you know
Big ball
that
problem.
you can't use that.
Not going to work. Okay.
So it's a no-brainer. Once you get a trailer that you're going to either rent or buy, you establish the fact that it needs a 2 5/16.
2 5/16.
Right.
Very nice.
Okay.
Okay. And then so the balls, these are threaded with nuts
a
and
nut
washers.
and a lock washer. It's very important that you have a lock washer.
They come and go off of this thing. Now this one here has got balls and they're welded to it. I presume the idea here is that one, what's this called?
Shaft.
Shaft. So one shaft gets you 3 balls and just spin it.
And a hook to whatever you want to do with it.
So shaft goes into, what's the thing on
The
the
receiver.
The receiver.
Yep.
Different
you can
dimensions
just
here?
Yeah, different dimensions. There's different dimensions that you want to make sure you match that up with whatever vehicle you have. And then basically, again, you want to match the ball size just by rotating it and lock it in place with a pin.
So in this case, the ball is sitting in line or right flat on the shaft.
Yep. And you want to know that size, but you really want to know how high the trailer is off the ground. And when I say the trailer, you want to know how high the trailer is when you set it at the place that it wants to be. You don't want the trailer to be level. You want it to be up just a little bit.
Why?
Then once it's set, you lower or raise the trailer, lay it, roll it down to get it where you want it to be. Then you take and you measure from under here to the ground. That's the height that you have to match with your receiver and your shaft.
And do I want them to be aligned? Is this a no-no?
That's a no-no, and this is a no-no. This and no. Yeah, wave to each other. Basically, if it's up and straight, the trailer's going to pull better.
Right.
If it's down, it's going to really roll when you go over 50.
So something like this, you could have a trailer that could be properly in line, but higher than you have for your truck.
Right.
That's what these are for?
So what you have to do is get a drop like this or a lift.
Oh, so these little curves right here get you what, to raise it up or lower it down?
Another one right here goes down, all right? So if that was the height from the ground to the truck or so on down the line, or this was the height that you needed from the ground. And they have a lot of different variables in between all of these. Higher or lower or closer.
You flipped yours over. Can I flip this over as well?
Absolutely.
So this could be used as a drop or a rise.
Exactly.
Very nice. Okay. Wow, that's clever.
Yeah.
Off to know.
Now this one right here is got the 3 balls. It's adjustable, so you can spin it to the one that you want.
Oh.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about changing the ball. Okay, now the other thing is it's also adjustable up and down.
I'll hold it for you.
So if I pull this pin, now watch your fingers there, because you normally want to do this on the vehicle.
Right.
Okay, so now you can raise that up, or you can bring it down, or I can flip it over and get it up higher,
up here,
or lower,
down here.
This I get.
And so that you don't walk into it, we got to flip it back down. Right down. Ooh. Right down. It will flip right under, and it will hide right under your vehicle, and you won't run into it with your leg.
Oh, have you ever done that?
Oh, yeah, many times, many times. And it hurts.
Oh, so this is the Mac Daddy right here.
Yeah, yeah.
One thing could eliminate 6 or 7 of these
Right,
things.
and if you tow a lot, then you want something like this because you don't want to take the time to basically change the ball to fit a different size trailer.
Beautiful.
Now the other thing you have to start thinking.
Can they schleppen? Like deze lijn kan hem weight based op hoeveel de truck kan schleppen, maar dat zat met de zeg.
Thinking about is how you're going to activate the lights on the trailer.
So the lights that I want on the trailer, I presume they're running lights and brakes so that the guy behind you.
Yeah, you definitely need to have running lights, but you definitely want brake lights because you don't want anybody running into it, and directional. So you have to look about what kind of plug comes with the trailer. Sometimes it might be simply like this, 4 pins, or you might get one like this, which is 7 pins. All right. Now the 4 pins are going to give you the basics: your right, left, lights, and brake lights.
And the 7 pins?
The 7 pins are going to give you right, left, ground. It's going to give you a braking capabilities because the trailer requires brakes. You're going to need power to go back to power the brakes.
So brakes on the trailer wheels in addition to brakes on the pickup wheels.
Yeah, and the trailer could have brakes on all 4 wheels or just on the front 2 wheels.
Tap the brake pedal, it's going to activate those.
Right, and you adjust the brake controller in the truck in relationship to the weight of the trailer. So if the trailer is empty, it's light, then your brake controller is way off. But if you load it up and you got 5,000 pounds pushing the truck when you want to stop, or the car, you want to make sure that you get help.
Why did Amazon send me 20?
I got it.
Welcome to the
Jag hatar por hitta videos, was interessant to watchen. This was Zimmer meer.
I look at the finished floor and I see the direction that that's going. And below that finished floor, there should be a subfloor. Below the subfloor, there should be a joist system that runs perpendicular to the finished floor. That system is all nailed together. What happens over time? The wood expands and contracts. And as it expands and contracts, the nails become loose. Some of the nails become loose, not all of them. When they do, they squeak. Sometimes the nails squeak going in and out of the hole. Sometimes the boards themselves squeak against each other. Now, I notice when you put your foot down on the floor over here, can you step on that a little more? I noticed a little more deflection in that floor yeah, it seems to be going up and down.
Deflection?
Yeah, I'm wondering if this floor system was built on a sleeper system.
What is a sleeper system?
Well, let me see. Let's use this table here as your subfloor. And this clicker will be the joist. Now, a sleeper system would be thinner pieces of wood nailed on top of the subfloor over the joist, spaced across the room. Your finished floor would thus go on top of that, creating an airspace, helping with the sound, or making this room more sound deadening for the room below.
I see.
So, I have an idea of trying to stop this squeak, and I think whether it's a sleeper system or not, I think it'll work.
Great.
I've drilled down about 3/4 of an inch, which is the thickness of the finished floor. To test that, I'm going to take this nail and put it in the hole and see if it goes down further than 3/4 of an inch, which it does. So that tells me that there is a space there.
So this is a sleeper floor system.
Exactly, exactly. But it doesn't matter whether it's a sleeper floor or two floors together. In other words, the subfloor and the finished floor touch. The principle is the same. We need to tie them together to stop the squeak.
What's the best way to do that?
Well, I was going to use a screw like this.
But I'm not sure how I feel about having screw heads visible all over the floor.
This is a unique screw. If you notice, right above the threads, there's a slot that goes all the way around the screw. That's designed in the screw as a weak point. If I take this screw and put it in this accessory, when the screw goes in through the floor and this touches the top of the floor, a resistance is formed and the screw head breaks off just below the surface. But I'm really concerned about the space here with this system. I think these flooring screws are going to be a little bit too short, but this company makes a longer screw for decking. Let me show you. It's longer, it has the same breakaway feature, and it should allow me to tie the finished floor to the subfloor. What do you think?
Anything that'll stop these floor squeaks from happening will be much appreciated.
I know what you mean. All right, let's give it a try.
Okay.
Nice.
One right there. You want to give it a try?
Sure.
There you go.
Nice and clean.
Well, what do you think?
The floor is definitely a lot quieter.
I agree. It is.
I'm concerned about all the little holes that the screws have left, though.
I've got a wax.
Het zijn vader interview them gesagt, hey, die guys zoeken, I'm concerned about the. Hey, was gaan we mijn bezemtas?
Crayon that you can fill the holes with. It'll match the floor. You buff off the excess with a rag, and you're in business.
Wonderful.
What else? What else? Nog een video was gewoon geen maar kijk. Een video, Cohen crew, and then we'll go. Here we go. This one, okay.
We are gardeners.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are starting our day at HO Pen once again. If you saw my video when I was putting batteries in the 926, you know that we ran into a little bit of an issue. There was a bit of a miscommunication. My dad texted me to pick up 2 batteries for that machine, not realizing that there was 4 in it. Rodrigo told him that the machine was dead, so he just kind of assumed there was 2 batteries in it, texted me to pick up 2. I went inside, grabbed 2. When I went to put them in it, realized there was 4 batteries in it. So I need to run inside, grab 2 more. There's already a ticket on the counter waiting for me. We'll grab those, and then we got to head to our Dutchess yard. I have forks for one of the tool cats in the bed of my truck that we need to unload.
Then it's local. Waarover vertrekt er?
Oh, we got to be careful. There's a fridge coming down the parking lot.
New York. It's in New York. What's that? Ik ken me goed vertrekt dus. Battery? What was that? Is the battery? I don't know. Okay. This is the best part now.
Batteries are done.
Batteries.
Let's get my truck out of here. We'll get the 950 parked back in this spot.
Was dit 52? Een speed, right? Dit is een speed. Er voert dich auf 10 jetzt. Hartstikke gedaan. All right. It was nice to see you guys. Thank you for watching. We'll be live more with more content and more interviews with people and more schmissen and alle gute Sachen. Thank you for watching. And that's it. Welke het alles gedaan. Foi. En fertig. Good night.